Yo, what's up my fellow creatives? Today I have an important video for you and I want to talk about your data, or your data as some like to say, tomato, tomato, but who says tomato? Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about the data that you have on your hard drives, on your solid state drives, on your iCloud drives, on all these different places where you're keeping your information where it's vulnerable. Your data that you have, or the data that you have for your business, is worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, like it is for me. I know just in video footage alone, I have over 6 terabytes worth of footage between all of my drives. And so that's a lot of footage, a lot of information, a lot of time that I've spent recording this stuff. And that doesn't include any of my client files. Imagine if you were to come into a situation where all of your files were wiped out. You came to your computer and all your data was gone. Every file, every piece of artwork, everything you ever created was just gone. That would be a devastating blow, and having to recreate everything you ever made, losing hundreds if not thousands of hours that you just can't get back. And so today I want to talk to you guys about the data storage that you use as a designer. Now let me just show you this real quick. I want to show you some different kinds of drives. The first kind of drive that you can get for your business is a regular hard drive. Now this is a portable drive. They make ones that go on the desktop, and I can only tell you from experience that I've had nothing but bad luck. It's honestly the reason why I don't use Western Digital anymore, because I had a hard drive that sat on my desk that wasn't portable, and one day it got knocked over and I lost everything. Now, don't get me wrong, you can take those things, send them off to these forensic companies that you can spend $1,500 to $5,000 for them to get the data off of it. But who wants to do that? Why would you need to spend an extra $1,500 to $5,000 for a drive that was supposed to keep your data safe, right? Well, after that happened to me twice, right? Twice now I've lost all of the data. Then again, a couple of years later, I got a drive just like this and I dropped it and lost all of my data again. Now, thankfully, when I dropped this one, I had a lot of it, probably about 60 or 70% of it backed up onto my Dropbox account. But there are 3 types of storage that I want to go over. And this is the first one. This is the least effective and the most vulnerable for you losing your data. And that is like a Western Digital My Passport portable drive. It's not a bad thing to have one. It's good to have a backup, but you got to understand that these things are very sensitive. And if you drop it, you can lose everything, and it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to get it back. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this is a really good upgrade, this is where we get into the solid state drives. A lot of the computers nowadays, which they didn't have 4 or 5 years ago, come with solid state drives. This right here is a hard drive. And this hard drive, anything goes anywhere from the T3 all the way up to the T7. Now this T7 drive writes extremely fast. I've bought like 3 or 4 of these things now. They're about $100 to $200 depending on the size. I think they go up to about 2 terabytes of storage, but these things are amazing. They're super quick, they hold everything, and if I drop it, I'm not worried about losing all my data. Now, if you were to drench it or submerge it in water or something like that were to happen, I don't know if it would still work, but dropping it on the floor, dropping it on the ground, falling out of my laptop bag, whatever it is, I'm not worried about losing the storage on it, because it's a lot like the little SD cards that we use in our cameras, where they're really hard to mess up. So I want to make sure that you understand that they're solid state drives, and if you're not using these and you're using traditional hard drives that have the discs inside of them, and that's the problem with this, is when this drops, if it hits the ground, there's a little disc, and if that gets dislodged or scratched or messed up in some way, it's going to be impossible to get the data off of it unless you pay thousands. So these ones right here have no disk. They're called a solid state drive for a reason. And these are super effective for me as a creative agency. I've actually done videos about these, but I am loyal to Samsung specifically for the reason of the quality that they make. I'm not a Seagate fan or anything. I like to find a brand that works well, that is reliable, and I've never had a single problem with any of my Samsung T3, T4, T5, T7 drives. So this is a good step for you if you want to upgrade. It's good to have backup storage, and this is a really good option. We're actually going to be moving from these over to what they call a G RAID or a G drive, and this is the next step for us, where there's going to be like 6 terabytes, 8 terabytes, 12 terabytes on a drive. And so I want to know, what type of drive are you using for your business? Is everything backed up online? Do you have things on hard drives? Do you have things on solid state drives? I'm curious. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what it is you're using in your business, because maybe we can do a product review about it if it's something cool. But I'm going to be actually doing an in-depth analysis on these alone of which ones between the T3 to the T7 here in the next few videos. So watch out for that. But I wanted to make sure I covered that. And then the last one, and this one's very common, is cloud storage. And now there's some different things that are happening in the cloud storage space that I want to cover with you. So just to give you some context, I started using Dropbox in about 2014, 2013, right around that time. And it has been an amazing tool. I spend about probably $100 a month on all the storage that I have. I have terabytes and terabytes worth of storage on Dropbox, and it's a really good way for me to access my stuff from anywhere in the world. I can get onto anybody's computer as long as I know my password and access my files. I can give that access and share that access with other people. It's an amazing tool, but you want to have a backup storage like a traditional drive where your stuff is backed up on. Don't just rely on cloud storage, because if it goes down, if something happens, it gets hacked, ransomware, whatever that happens, you can be locked out of all your files. And you want to make sure that you have a backup of everything that you've created, because the artwork, the designs, and everything you've created is worth a lot of money. And I don't ever want you to have to recreate that. Now, the last thing that I'll say about the cloud storage, and this is really important, you got things like Dropbox and iCloud and Google Drive, right? These are great. But there is a new and emerging technology. As you know, I've talked a lot about blockchain, a lot about crypto in my past, and I want to talk about that again. There is a platform called Storj, and it's got a funny name. I always call it Storj, but S-T-O-R-J. It's called Storj, and it is a cloud-based, decentralized, cloud-based storage platform. I have a friend of mine who's a business partner of mine has actually built a tribe platform where you can start your own community, start your own tribe. And on that platform, all of the storage space that they use is actually built on Storj, on the blockchain technology, the decentralized cloud storage. And so this is a really cool technology. This is probably where I'm going to be going. I love decentralization. It increases the security, it reduces the risk and vulnerabilities of people hacking my files. And so I'm probably going to be making that switch over from things like iCloud and Google Drive and Dropbox over to Storj. And if you haven't gotten familiar with that yet, I would check out their website. This is a really good opportunity for you to learn about storage, but I want to be talking more about that. As I implement that into my business, like I said, I'm going to share a lot of the information and things that I'm learning along the way. And this just happens to be a big one where I'm going to be moving all of my company files, the backups of all my company files, over to Storj. And so if you're not on a cloud-based storage now, I would highly recommend it. Don't leave everything on your computer, because your computer can get stolen, it can break down, just things happen, right? And so you want to create a system for yourself and your business very early on. And hopefully I'm catching you towards the beginning of your career, but I want to make sure you set up systems in place that protect the data that you've worked so hard to design. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope this was super helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. And make sure, if you haven't already, check out the Instagraphics Pro Network on Facebook. It's a community of people that are leveling up their life and business. I'd love to see you there. Make sure you fill out all the questions or we can't let you in, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much. I'm Adrian Boycell, and as always, keep looking up.